All right, so I'm just gonna wait and see who's on here. Oh, thank you for joining me. It's awesome to see you all. Brian, thank you for being here. And Thomas and Victor. If the video is right side up for you, can someone let me know? If like either a thumbs up or something to make sure that it's the right direction for you guys to see. Anyone? Thumbs up? All right. Well then, I'm not sure how to see these comments here. This is probably like the third time I've done a live video, so yeah. All right, well, first of all, I'd just like to thank all of you for being here and for showing up to such an amazing topic. And I'd like to honor all of you who are on the path and who are acknowledging the importance of intimacy and who are acknowledging the importance of cultivating deep connections with people in your life. It is my awareness that intimacy is really important, and intimacy is something that a lot of us can have struggles with. I know that in my life, I've had some struggles with intimacy, and, you know, my struggles have come from past experiences in which it either wasn't safe in intimate relationships, or I got hurt, or, you know, my parents didn't really foster a safe sort of container for there to be transparency and authenticity and love within connection. So I'm just going to close my eyes for a second. And, you know, I suggested the topic of intimacy and communication within relationships and how to do that effectively. And yet there's so many factors to that. And so some other factors might come up along the way. And if anyone has questions, feel free to ask me any questions as I speak. And if I notice them and I can get to them, I totally will. So it's interesting, when I made this post, so many things came up to talk about, and so I'm not going to go super deep into everything that has to do with intimacy. I will retouch on some things at a later point. But right now, what I'd like to share from my own personal perspective is that the great thing about intimacy is inherently in that it's an opportunity to learn more about yourself. And so oftentimes people are wanting to learn how to relate to their partners. Well, the platform for relating to your partners is relating to yourself and deeply knowing yourself. And that's why I love the topic of intimacy, because inherently in that, it's a deeper awareness of yourself. Relationships are a catalyst for you to transform your life. And if you look at it like that, that is really a huge opportunity for you to dive deeper into who you are, how you relate, what you want, what your dreams are, and ultimately to illuminate anything in yourself that needs looking at. And, you know, so often people get into a relationship and it's beautiful and it's blissful and there's love and it's amazing and connecting. And then they're like, what happened? What happened? There's sticky stuff coming up, and oh, like, I'm fighting with my partner and I don't really like that, and I didn't know that was there. And, you know, it's really an opportunity to practice unconditional love. And inside the container of unconditional love, it's first an unconditional love for yourself. And, you know, my best tool in relating with others and forming harmonious and beautiful connections. I see people are popping on and off, so this is an interesting dynamic for me to do a Facebook Live, but to really open and facilitate a space of clear and fulfilling and honest communication with your partner, it's really important to bring it back to the self and to really go deep within yourself. Does anyone know what that looks like? I don't always know what that looks like, but it's a practice. And so someone was knocking on my door, so there's a little distraction there. Let me get back into the topic. So one thing that's beneficial in intimacy is deep presence. And what is deep presence? I feel like I want to read this card right now for you. It's just this topic, and it's so beautifully describing what is such a beneficial tool in really forming authentic, harmonious, fulfilling, and juicy relationships is presence. Being so present in the moment and really acknowledging, where are you coming from? Are you coming from right now, what's really present in the moment, like reality? Or are you coming from some impact that you've experienced in the past? And this is an experiment that you can go your whole life doing, and I guarantee I will too. But it's really like lifting the veil of, where are you coming from? Is this really what's happening in the moment? Dissolving stories. What are your stories about love? What are the stories you formed about your partner? What is it that you really want in life? And how are you viewing yourself and others? And what lens are you using? Are you using the lens of love, or are you using the lens of fear? And this is such an intricate process. And so I commend anyone who is really exploring this within themselves, because there's layers and layers and layers to finding out what the truth is. And the practice, and I really appreciate Victor for being here. Thank you for your support. What I'm sharing is definitely supported by who really wants to hear what I have to share and who's really interested in diving deeper into themselves. And so I'm going to read a little bit of this passage, and if it resonates, that's great, and if it doesn't, that's great, but it's something that I feel is beneficial for all of us to hear, and at least for myself to hear. So it's just speaking on being in the moment. And it's really funny, I just pulled this card a couple days ago, and it's this man, and he is sort of treading lightly on this path. Well, what's next to him is the city. What's next to him is the hustle and bustle, but he's present to the moment. He's present to what's really true in the moment. And so this card challenges us to move away from our preoccupations with other spaces and other times, and stay alert to what is happening in the here and now. Life is a great ocean in which you can play if you drop all your judgments and your preferences and the attachment to the details of your long-term plans. Be available to what comes your way as it comes. Don't worry if you stumble or fall. Pick yourself up, dust yourself off, have a good laugh, and carry on. And, what this reminds me of is, in relationship, I've seen people, when they come up to a struggle, or when they come up to a sticky moment, they see that as a problem. Oh man, this is a problem, we're having problems. Well, really, it's just happening. It's just happening. And it's an opportunity for you to rectify that within yourself and to come into greater harmony with yourself and with the other person who maybe there's this problem with. And, what's so funny is conflict, especially in intimate relationships, is an opportunity to learn more about yourself and the other. So personally, I welcome it. As much as I avoid conflict and I want to be peace and I want to be love and I want to be like in alignment and centered and grounded and juicy and all of that, when I embrace that there is conflict, there's turmoil within myself, I open up to receiving love in that turmoil, in that discomfort, in that reality of being fucking human. And, for me, it's not like the spiritual thing that really I have a hard time with. It's being human. It's like the day-to-day, like, grind of emotions, feelings, textures, being humble, being like, you know what? I'm triggered right now. I don't feel good. I feel sensitive. I feel raw. I feel uncomfortable. And that's where I'm at. And it's as simple as that. But oftentimes it's hard to even communicate that you're feeling this way because it's vulnerable. It's so vulnerable to admit that you're not doing great. That you're not showing up in maybe the most present, aligned space. It takes humility. And that's also another key component to being in a healthy and fulfilling relationship is humility. I'm having a bad day. I'm a little triggered right now. I'm reactive, and kind of what you're saying may feel uncomfortable to me. And so, let's just acknowledge that that's where I'm at. I do that. And you know what that's done for me in my life is it has welcomed in compassion. It has welcomed in acceptance. And I attract partners in my life now who have infinite space for me to be who I am. You know, I'm feeling love and I'm feeling like pouring all my juicy love on someone. They welcome that. I'm like, I'm uncomfortable. I'm sticky. I kind of want to scream and yell right now. That's welcome too. And I also have space for them, but that's because I accept that within myself. And so I'm going to read the rest of this because it seems relevant. The past is no more and the future is not yet. Both are unnecessarily moving in directions which don't exist. One used to exist but no longer exists, and one has not even started to exist. The only right person is one who lives moment to moment, whose arrow is directed to the moment, who is always here and now. Wherever he is, his whole consciousness, his whole being is involved in the reality of here and in the reality of now. That is the right direction. Only such a man can enter into the Golden Gate, and the Golden Gate is the present moment. Here and now is the Golden Gate. Whatever's coming up, that's the Golden Gate. Uncomfortability, Golden Gate. Love, Golden Gate. Beauty, Golden Gate. Bliss, Golden Gate. Ecstasy, orgasm, all of it. Death. Beautiful too. It's what's happening. A man who wants to be in the present has not to think, has just to come and see and enter the gate. Experience will come, but experience has not to be premeditated. And so for me, what this speaks to is, what am I feeling right now? I'm going to be transparent with you. Intense emotion. Ooh. There's an excitement. There's a nervousness. There's a... I'm experiencing a desire to show up for everyone. I'm experiencing a desire to offer value. And so in that desire for offering value, I also experience the fear of not offering value. It's like the other coin, the other side of the coin, and both are present because both are part of the same thing. You know, I'm experiencing a great joy, a love, a desire to hold all of you in the container of unconditional love, that you feel held. You know, I wish to show support. I wish to show compassion. I wish to show great joy for this life. And I have a desire to share that joy. And I also have a desire to understand myself better. And that's where all of this comes from. And I appreciate you. And, you know, I mentioned that I would share some things about topics on how to have effective and, you know, powerful communication. And what I can say from my own experience is that the best thing to do any moment that you're experiencing anything in life, whether it's joy, whether it's heartache, whether it's compassion, whether it's mistrust, whether it's whatever, whether it's fear, whether it's hate, whether it's anger, whether it's love, infinite bliss, ecstasy, is to become aware of where you're at. And to communicate to the other person, this is what I would like you to know about myself. I'd like to share something about myself with you. Are you open to hear something about myself? I'd like to communicate that with you. It's not about what I need from you. It's not about what you can do for me, what you are doing, what you're not doing. I really wish you washed the dishes more. I kind of like it if you cleaned out, you know, the kitchen more. That is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, I'd really like to let you know that there's something that's really important to me in life. And, you know, what's really important for me is to feel safety, to feel compassion, and to be accepted. I value authentic communication. I value transparency. I really like it when what's on someone's mind is communicated to me. I like to feel included. You know, I really value touch. I value connection. I value specific time that's allotted to really connect physically. Something that I also love is to have special time allotted for communication. Just communication time where we can look into each other's eyes and talk. I like that. That feels really good to me. And learning how to communicate what we want from a place of request. And that's a tricky one, because sometimes we say things, and I have done this, I have been a master of demanding. I thought for the longest time that I was making requests for people. I would really like it if you did this. That's not very inviting. That's kind of like an attack. And so now I've stepped into a place and a practice of asking from a place of true request. No attachment to whether they can actually fulfill that or not. It's like an open invitation. This is what I like. And being okay with not getting it, because you are more likely to get your needs met in any relationship when you share from yourself and when you share as if it's a request. Because then someone has their sovereignty. Someone feels like they are an independent being and they are able to act of their own free will. And when someone's acting of their own free will, they feel more joy because they're giving to you. And when there's a demand, it seems like there's something that's being taken from you. If I don't do this, they're going to be mad at me. If I don't do this, I might face some wrath. That doesn't feel good. Nobody wants that. I don't want that. So why would I do that to other people? And so I would just like to ask if anyone has any questions. I'm acknowledging that Victor has been on for a really long time, and I just love you. I so appreciate that you've been supporting this conversation, because there is no conversation without the other person. And so if there's anything that you would like to add, I really welcome that. I'm looking to see if there are any comments. I'm flipping this because I am not, very proficient in this Facebook Live structure. So, if you're watching this later or if you're watching this now, I welcome any, I welcome any feedback as far as what it is that maybe you are finding most difficult in relationships, because then I can have some context to go deeper into maybe specific areas of relationship that are challenging for you and bring light to that area. And so there's a whole vast wealth of information. We can go infinitely deep into what it means to be in a relationship, because this whole human experience is relationship with everything around us. And so I can go super deep into it, but if there's anything in particular that is challenging for you or that you would like clarity on, it'll really help for me to bring up some more topics to talk about, maybe in depth, and go specifically into those areas, which I would absolutely love to do. And, hi, Caitlin. Oh my gosh, my blessed sister is here. And, she is amazing and I love her. And so I appreciate you being here. I love you. I'm feeling like staying on for a little bit longer, and yet, sometimes the message and the wisdom just doesn't flow all the time. Sometimes silence is what is needed. And so I honor the silence, and I welcome anyone having questions. Hey, it's nice to see you, Morgan. Even if it's on the interwebs. If it's through internet communication, I love you and I adore you. And I see you as being someone who's a pioneer in relating and who's curious and dedicated to opening up to what it really means to relate with other people. And so I honor you for that. I honor you for your dedication to the path. Thank you for your contribution. It's a huge contribution. Any of us who are dedicated and looking to learn more about ourselves through the art of relationship, it impacts everyone we meet, whether it's the person at the grocery store, whether it's our family, whether it's the person that we sit next to in class, whether it's our coworker, anyone that we interact with on a daily basis is impacted by the work that we do here. It's impacted by the work that we do to learn more about ourselves. And so I commend everyone who's even minutely active in learning more about themselves and relating. And I just like to share before I get off, since it doesn't seem like I'm getting any questions. I don't know if I'm just not seeing it or if I'm not getting any. But what I'm up to and the work that I do is I offer intimacy coaching for couples and singles. I offer coaching for singles who are wanting to learn how to cultivate a space in which they can actually receive the partnership that they want. And so what that involves is clearing out of all the old, really getting clear on what is it that you want, and then being a match to exactly what it is that you want in your life so that you can have a space and welcome that in, which is ideally what we all desire in life, is to have harmonious relationships and fulfilling love connections. Love is like the juiciest and most rewarding thing, at least in my experience. I'm not going to speak for everyone. And I also offer support for couples who either, are having difficulty or would just like to go to a deeper level in intimacy and open up to more ecstasy and pleasure in their current relationship. And so I do one-on-one coaching, and I also provide deeply intimate cuddling and deeply intimate restorative touch sessions with people. And so whether you're far away or whether you're close by, both of these types of sessions are deeply supportive for transforming whatever it is that's needing to be transformed, and not even needing to be transformed, whatever it is that's ready. Whatever it is that's ready to be transformed inside the self. These both offer a beautiful space to do that. And so I honor all of you, and I love all of you, and thank you so much for being here and supporting this conversation. Conflict builds trust. Oh my gosh, I'm seeing comments. Yeah, it sure does. It sure does. I don't know when you said that because I'm just seeing it now. Yeah, like, when we go through conflicting moments with others, it's like, how are you showing up? It's not about the love and the harmony and the sex. I mean, sex is great, but what's going to happen when you reach a wall, when you reach a barrier and there's like this headbutting thing? Are you going to open more? Are you going to open up more? Or are you going to close off and push the other person away? And it's as simple as that, but it's not very simple. So, I acknowledge every moment. I've had conflicts come up. I've had past pain come up. I've had past hurt come up where I am so wanting to be in the bliss of the moment. And this presence in the moment is really what my dedication is to. Because when I'm present in the moment, all there is love. You and me together. And what comes through are these, like, I'm feeling it in my solar plexus and my, like, sacral area, are these sticky, icky beliefs, patterns, habits that I formed of protection because I've been hurt. That's pretty much what it is. And so I'm like, don't hurt me, back it up. But really, is the person in front of me actually hurting me? Or am I just hurting? And so I invite everyone into this inquiry of really seeing themselves in the moment as they really are, accepting themselves as they really are, and then learning to transform what it is that's happening in the moment into a present awareness of what's real. The art of relating can make you a master. It can help you master the story, the monkey mind, the voices that try to take you away from the beauty of the present moment. And that's what I'm here to do, is experience the beauty of life. And it includes all of my pain and all of my joy. And when I really get present to what's happening in the moment, I can be more present to the reality of, is this happening now or is this present from the past? Is it my fear of what's going to happen in the future? Am I afraid of losing them? Am I afraid of being alone? I'm not alone right now. I mean, maybe I am alone. But what's the fear? Acknowledge the fear. It's okay. Fear is safe. Fear doesn't indicate danger. And that's the thing. In our lives, we've come across these traumatic moments and then we associate fear with danger. Because maybe we have been hurt. It actually was dangerous in a certain moment. But it's really important to understand that fear is safe. It's okay to be afraid. Acknowledge it. Understand that on the opposite side of fear, or, you know, just including in that. Yeah, on the opposite side of fear is the transformation of that fear. Like, it's the same thing. And so I love you, and I'm really happy. And is anyone that is on right now really feeling called to say thank you? I'm learning from Super Dog. Love and desire. So Victor, I just saw your comment about love and desire, and it's interesting. Desire and love are some things that I really would love to talk about, and I'm not going to talk about here because this was sort of like an introduction, seeing who's interested in the space. And I haven't read any of her books, but desire and really understanding desire and welcoming desire and learning how to move with it in our lives is also something that's super relevant in relationship. And I could do a whole talk on desire, because there's many facets to desire, and to learn how to harness and welcome in our desire and act simultaneously from a centered place is really important, because sometimes our desire takes us out of ourselves. And so how do we have desire and hold desire and love and welcome desire while simultaneously acting from a place that's of integrity? And, you know, all facets are important. And so I'd love to talk about that. In fact, you know, I will do another video in a week or so, and I'll let you guys know when it is that I'm going to be coming on so that you guys are prepared. And in fact, I will welcome the conversation of desire and the topic of desire in love and desire in general, and how that manifests and affects our relationships, and how we can communicate and have transparency with our partners about what our true and authentic desires are, because, you know, that can create a lot of distancing when we're hiding ourselves and what our true desires are in life from other people. And yeah, I love you all, and I just completely overjoyed and very grateful to share this with all of you. And so I'd like to acknowledge everyone who's watching this video and who's called to understanding more about themselves, because it's such an honorable thing. And if any of you have questions, feel free to message me. I'm going to post the website that you can contact me as well from on this little feed here. And I'll also post it on my Facebook so that you can check it out there. You can feel free to email me here, like message me on Facebook or message me through my website. To be honest, messaging me and emailing me through my website sort of streams the information a little more for me. So that helps if that's something that you would like to do, and it would support our communication about all of this loving and amazing work. Thank you so much, Victor. You're a rock star. Thank you for supporting and being here. And I look forward to it as well. Blessings, and have a beautiful Friday. I hope your Friday is filled with connection, filled with understanding, filled with truth, and a deep joy and respect and compassion for yourself. Blessings.